Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. So today's episode is going to be a really quick episode on, do you really need to bug out? Now, let me clarify bugging out, because I know that I talk about it and I sort of assume that people know that bugging out is a last resort. Bugging out, guys, is not your go-to thing, if you will, right? Bugging out is a last resort move. You do not have to bug out just because some little, like what's happening here in New York City. People are leaving in droves because they're scared of what's going to happen and what's happening. This is not a bug out situation. This is just okay, this is fucked up, but we'll get through this situation. Bugging out is the absolute last resort. Bugging out is when your home is threatened or gone, right? When your livelihood is threatened. I mean, like directly threatened, not like they're bad guys in the street lurking and mugging people. I'm talking about they're coming to your home on a daily basis to get your shit or try to get your shit. Then you bug out. That's what bugging out's for. Bugging out is not your first move in prepping. You don't go, whoa, the shit's bad today. They knocked on my door and threatened me. I'm gonna leave. No. Bugging out is a very last resort. There's a lot of stresses to bugging out. I have a video on that. I'm going to release it later this week, but we talk about the stresses of bugging out. You do not want to bug out because bugging out is the most stressful event in all of prepping. Anything prepping related, bugging out is the most stressful event in a prepper's life. You don't want to do it. You do not want to sit there and have your family trekking behind you. You don't want to be in a fucking car going down a road to an unsure path. You don't want to do that. You don't want to bring your people out in the open when they could be indoors. You have to do yourself a favor and make sure that's the last resort. You do, I might add, have to come up with a when it is time to bug out, and people don't have that plan. They don't have the, we need to bug out when this happens. We need to, they just go at the first sign of a problem. Holy shit, lightning struck too close to home. I'm out of here. That's not what bugging out's for. Bugging out is the last resort, period. It's not like, again, a lot of the cowards here in New York City that are leaving. And I explained in my last video, I'm not gonna jump ship yet. Now, I can't jump ship yet, and it's not even just financial reasons anymore. It's a few other reasons that popped up after I said I was gonna be out of here in 6 months. For a lot of you that think that this city is going to turn into a place of Sodom and Gomorrah, or, you know, Snake Plissken's Escape from New York, it's not gonna get that bad. It is gonna get bad, but not that bad. And yes, my kids do deserve a better life, but there are a lot of things we can do to keep their lives safe. But if it does get bad, and I mean, like, you know, gangs are running the street and going door to door kind of shit, yeah, then that might be too late. But nonetheless, that's when you bug out. You just don't bug out at the first sign of a problem. And I know a lot of you people who don't live in the city, you automatically think this is going to turn into one black hole. It doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. And I understand why you people think that, because you read a lot of books, you listen to other preppers who do not live in the city. That's my fucking pet peeve. Don't listen to preppers who don't live in the city. They don't know. Period. That would be like me talking about desert preparedness and how to prepare your home in the middle of a desert. I know shit about a desert. Yes, I know about suburbs. I know about woods, but that's because I've done the research. I talk to people who live out there, but I haven't done that kind of prepping. Nonetheless, I can figure that out. Desert, I have no fucking clue, so I can't talk about it. You won't ever hear me talk about it, actually. There's certain things in prepping you'll never hear me talk about, like comms, communications. I don't know much about it. I don't like it. I know that I have to hold a radio in my hand, I press click, and I talk to somebody. That's it. But you won't hear me talk about comms. Preppers who don't live in the city don't know, period. So for every last prepper that talks about the city's going to turn into hell and Satan's going to rise from the ashes, shut up. Shut up. It is not that bad. Trust me. A lot of preppers thought in the 80s New York City was like, you know, the end of the world. It wasn't that bad. Or maybe because I'm accustomed to it, maybe because I'm used to it, maybe because I was raised in this shit, I know how to navigate this. But you got to be careful with listening to preppers who are telling you about the city and they never lived in the city. That is my pet peeve. Don't talk about shit you don't know about. It's really, really asinine when I hear that. Again, you know, there are a lot of things you can figure out when it comes to prepping, but talking about the city falling apart. And listen, the city is falling apart. We're not denying that. The city is getting bad with crime. I'm not denying that. But it's not going to turn into this, again, Snake Plissken Escape from New York or Escape from LA. It's not going to be that bad. It's going to get bad, but not that bad. But it's just, and there's a lot of adaptability that goes on with living in the city that, again, these preppers don't know. And again, because I was raised in this shit, maybe I'm just used to it. And maybe I don't see it the way you guys do. But I've heard so many false things about New York City from outsiders. I'm like, where the fuck did they get this from? You know, where did they get that you can't walk around in Harlem? Like, I remember growing up and people like, oh, you know, you walk through Harlem, you're going to get shot. It's just inevitable. You walk through Harlem and you're white, you're going to get robbed. There was some truth to being white and getting robbed, but I walked through this neighborhood growing up damn near my whole life. I never got robbed. Never got robbed. I lived in Washington Heights. Never got robbed. Guys, it's not that bad. It really is. And if you carry yourself a certain way, especially if you, like, let's say white guys, for example, if you're that white guy that just has that look, they're not fucking with you. I've never seen a white guy get robbed who looked like, you know, I don't know, like a tough Navy SEAL kind of dude. They're not fucking with you. So it's this misconception of the city. And that's my rant about the city. But nonetheless, bugging out, guys, getting back to that, that's your last resort. You don't need to go the first gunshot. Pop! You're like, oh my God, we got to get out of here. No, it doesn't work that way. You don't, like I said, you don't want to stress your family out. I'm going to put that video on the stresses of bugging out so that you guys, again, so you guys can see my opinion on the stresses of bugging out. That's the other thing, real quick, guys. Everything I say here is an opinion, right? Nothing's factual unless I actually looked it up and there's science behind it and, you know, all that mumbo jumbo. But don't take anything I say as word. Do your own research. Whatever prepper talks on YouTube or whatever video, do your own research. There's research to everything. Don't fall to just one dude. That was my rant. But listen, guys, bugging out, last resort. Do not bug out unless you absolutely have to. All right, guys. So this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching. You can like and subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and Twitter. And other than that, guys, thank you for watching.